If you are doing this one very specific thing, congratulations, you're in your flesh. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe real quick. All right, let's do it. So you're probably wondering, what's that thing? Is it beating off? Is it watching porn? Is it being greedy? Is it refusing to pay my tithe? Nope, none of that. Those are more fruits than real root issues in your theology that are causing you to just willingly step into your flesh. No, what I'm talking about is actually a lot more fundamental. There's even pastors who constantly do this and actually encourage their congregation to follow them. I'm talking about this. If you're constantly finding fault in your behavior and in your daily activities and kind of judging your performance on whether God would be impressed with you or not, or whether God would approve of you today or not, guess what? You're in your flesh. You're not any more holy for doing that. You are just like any other man who has failed under the law. Do you feel like you're constantly earning good or bad standing with God based upon your performance? You're in your flesh. The flesh loves religiousness and legality. That's why when God gave us the law, which is really the epitome of religiousness and legality, he sealed it by circumcision. It's a flesh thing. You follow laws that are all external in order to try and pay for some kind of spiritual debt. The strength of sin is that very law. It takes a spiritual understanding to rely on the atoning sacrifice of Christ. You cannot be in the flesh and understand these things. You're like Nicodemus. You are not going to understand what being born again is if you are thinking law, legality, flesh mindset. It's the carnal mind that judges and measures one's actions as if any amount of good actions can earn God's favor, God's salvation, God's righteousness. No action committed by a sinful being is worth God's full and permanent approval. You are approved wholly, only, and solely by the atoning sacrifice of Jesus Christ on the cross. The death he died to replace the life you live. The reality is legality and religiousness only leads to more sin. Firstly, because it inadvertently rejects Christ as your savior. But secondly, because it doesn't allow the Spirit of God to be the transformational force in your life. Rather, you're just stuck in cycles of stringing together streaks of good behavior and hoping that that will be your atoning sacrifice. These are dirty rags to our God. Not to mention the level of pride you will invite into your hearts, thinking you can earn any level of salvation, any level of God's presence. And that's the most deadly sin known to man. The most spiritual thing you can do is wake up every morning recognizing and accepting the grace afforded to you and walk within it forgiven, justified, and empowered by the same very Spirit that resurrected Christ from the dead. In that you have true salvation and relationship with God.
Matt Smith TV.